Kenya's innovation potential continues to be harnessed, and the capital city Nairobi provides a rich ground for this. Located a few kilometers away from the central business district is the iHub. Here, technology thrives and so does innovation. According to the team, BRCK is a local solution that bypasses infrastructure problems associated with internet connectivity, as Eric Hassman, one of the brains behind it, explains.
It's a very simple device. It's a modem, it's a router, and it's a battery all in one. So you can stay connected whether you're in a place where the power goes on or off, internet goes up or down, or you're on the road. It also has an antenna jack on it so that if you're in a place where you can't quite get the mobile signal, you can use that for your internet connection, and it really reaches out and touches that antenna and brings you a better signal.
The BRCK team designed the device to survive harsh environmental conditions and to withstand power surges.
We designed the power inside the BRCK to be able to take up to a 400-volt charge without frying the device, and we can also deal with brownouts. So if we basically have a power controller in here that allows allows the power to fluctuate, and if it ever fluctuates into a dangerous zone, it fails over to battery. So a lot about the BRCK is about simplicity and redundancy and really kind of ruggedness, like these flaps keep dust out and things like that aren't on most devices made in Europe and the US. The whole pain point of this was this idea of like, why are we in Kenya using the routers designed in the US and Europe when we live in Nairobi, or we live in New Delhi, or we live in Kampala? There's no reason for that.
This gadget can be used by a wide range of institutions situated in areas with limited access to the internet.
It turns out that schools, especially those that are trying to come online and become more digital, have a real problem with connectivity. And so a lot of the people who are running big edtech projects throughout India and Africa have been in touch with us about the BRCK as their solution. We're also seeing it being used in clinics for community health workers to sync their data, and for people who are running the clinic, just administrators, to stay more connected with their home base, sometimes in Nairobi or in the other capital city, whichever country they're in.
Designing and building the device was not without its challenges.
When you're building a device like this in Africa, you've got to deal with things around manufacturing that are difficult. Prototyping. How do you get components in? How do you get like the original 3D case that we're building? If you can't do it here, where do you get it done, and how do you get it shipped in? We have major problems with time. So if I'm designing this in the US or Europe, within 24 hours I can get all the components I need. But here it takes me 7 days, 5 to 7 days, and it costs me $100 to ship it via DHL or FedEx, and then I have to deal with customs, which is another 5,000 to 7,000 shillings. And you've got this kind of all this friction to the system. So it took us longer to develop than it would have if we'd done it elsewhere. But I think the advantages of us designing it here mean that we really are solving the problems at our local level.
Additionally, the device can be accessed through cloud technology from any part of the world.
One of the first things we built to showcase this is a Raspberry Pi connection. So Raspberry Pi is the world's cheapest single board computer. Inside this little red box is a Raspberry Pi computer, a 128 gig hard drive, and an 8-hour battery. So you connect that to the BRCK, and you have a microserver. This is for your connectivity and your access to the internet, and this gives you computational power. So what that means you can do is really almost anything.
With this invention, the BRCK team has set the stage for the production of high-tech devices that suit Africa's local needs.
It's really just the beginning. We're on the front edge of the wave. In 5 years from now, we'll be telling a different story. And that story, I hope, is where Kenya is seen not only as the software innovation capital of Africa, but also the hardware capital for building things that actually matter and can be used on our continent.